What's going on, you guys? Kenny here, also known as Silent85. Welcome to another vlog. This is me, no hat. You guys might notice I wear a hat a lot, and that's basically because it's kind of a security blanket for me. It helps to have weirdly fabric on my head. I wish I could explain it, but or cloth or whatever it might be. Um, I wanted to talk this vlog about mistakes, and forgive the camera. This is a bit of an awkward setup. I'm currently on break at work, and I've been listening to some of the more recent Linkin Park releases. And as Linkin Park does, it gets me rocking out, obviously, and loving the music. Fighting myself, though, the most recent release gets you analyzing mentally about fighting with yourself, obviously. It talks about, I can't run with this weight on my back. I can't see because I focus on the past. Fighting myself, I always lose. Fighting myself, I always lose. The lyrics in a nutshell. Some of the lyrics, anyway. Where am I going with this? I'm rambling, as I tend to do. It's funny. I've constantly analyzed my life for two reasons. I'm forecasting because of my mental challenges, as well as past mistakes and things that were put on me as a kid, things that happened to me. I am a survivor of childhood abuse, and as well as a suicidal episode that I ended up checking myself in for. These are things that happened to me that I had control over in the moment, and thankfully, with one of them, I had more control and I was able to get help. I was able to help myself with family and friends and doctors and medications. And, I'm still following that path. But the thing that happened before is the thing that has really led me to where my life is now. And one thing that I think a lot of people catch themselves doing, I do it every so often, is they mourn who they could have been, where they could have been, who they could have been with. And if you look at it from a certain perspective, let's say, for example, like me, I'm a huge believer in the multiverse theory. I believe that there are many universes that we are not aligned with, that we can't even see as of yet, where we have made different decisions. There are different variants of ourselves. And I find hope in that because I know that there's one of me out there that potentially has made different choices and is leading a better life. But there's kind of folly in that because you kind of discount yourself, that you're not leading the life, or you're equating to value in another life that you have in your current life. Hopefully that makes sense. So I think to do that really does discount yourself, much like my belief in believing in a deity and relying on them way too much discounts yourself as a human being, because you're telling yourself that you can't do this by yourself. You've got to believe in something that I believe is not there, or that can't be proved that it's there, but you also can't prove it's not there. So that's why I'm agnostic. But it's crazy to think all this stuff. And 20 years later, I was a big Linkin Park fan. I went to the Meteora tour in Dallas back in the day. I remember that night because I ended up wrecking my father's car. Rest in peace. This is his 2-year death anniversary. To the month, close to the day. This is another reason why I've analyzed my life, because I think back on my father and the things he did that I don't want to do, and the things he did that I can aspire to. And so anyway, I'm all over the place with this, but fighting yourself in general, whether it's like I was talking about a multiverse, thinking about yourself in other ways, other variants of yourself, focusing on you, focusing on your strengths, your weaknesses, your life, your choices, your impacts, your dreams, your nightmares. It's important. It's important to try, and for a lot of people, it's a lifelong adventure to do so, but you need to meld with yourself and not fight yourself. You need to be one with yourself, because we're our own worst enemy. There can be somebody out there that hates the living daylights out of you. There could even be somebody out there that is stalking you, that is trying to endanger your life. But when it comes down to it at a fundamental level, we are our own worst enemies. We stop ourselves. If you can do that, if you can constantly keep yourself in check and keep yourself from doing, saying, or thinking things as much as you can help it, because again, people with mental challenges, it's very hard. That's why you reach out for help. You take the medication as needed, you do all this and that. See a therapist. Seek solace in religion if you need to, but I think, to me, that is a serious struggle, because what if you lose that faith and you don't already have that faith in yourself? What do you stand on? And I think that it's growing up as a Christian, that was a big challenge for a lot of Christians I grew up around. They put all their faith into a deity, but no faith in themselves. And it's a serious handicap you put yourself in. So that's why I have chosen to put all my faith in myself. I have no faith for a deity. I have none reserved for a deity, because it makes no sense to me. It makes no sense to me. But for a lot of people, there is strength in that. But again, I would hope and I would preach to anybody, technically speaking, in relation to religion, have faith in yourself. Don't put all your faith in your deity. Look out for yourself as well. Anybody, even if it's some deity that cares for you from your perspective, anybody that cares for you wants you to be a stronger you, to be a more solid you, to be you. And anybody that cares for you will want that. People that don't care for you don't want that. They want to bring you down. They want to keep you in control. Always something to remember. But anyway, whatever it may be, however you can do what you need to do to find you and quit fighting yourself is very important. It is very, very, very important. And if you can do that, and again, sometimes it's a lifelong struggle for a lot of people, it's totally worth it. Now, I mentioned Linkin Park in the beginning, and there's another factor in all this that I'm talking about, and that's Chester Bennington. Chester chose to take his own life because I'm sure there was a lot of things in his mind that he felt had to come to an end. Struggles. Maybe there was a part of him that felt he had done everything he could in his life, and now all he felt was just constant pain, constant struggling. I know there had to have been some light in his life, but from his perspective, it was only darkness. Robin Williams, in this sense, another celebrity I look up to and that made me laugh, and I acquired some of my humorisms from. They chose to take their own lives because it was either due to a mental challenge, mental difficulty, or it was a choice they made to try to find peace in the storm of their life. These are examples of folks that felt they didn't have a choice. I mean, these are celebrities. These are guys that had a high status in life, had a high, very high, financially, and everything. But one thing to note about celebrity is that one thing I've learned as a minor YouTuber, I've been doing this for over 13 years now. There's a lot of people that pop up in your life that just want to be there for status, to potentially use you, and not really care. The only thing they really care about is the numbers on your channel, or the views in your videos, or getting their name out there. And I can only guess what it was like for Chester Bennington or Robin Williams in their celebrity status as A-list, top-tier celebrities. Constantly having people in their lives that, I mean, let's be honest, there were people that I knew that they loved, that they knew loved them, but there were also other people that a majority of the people in their lives were probably seeking something out of them. And thus is the way of Hollywood. Thus is the way of politics. Thus is the way of a lot of times in the workplace. Who you know, who you befriend, and whatnot. Of course, the key word there is friend and befriend, but they're not really friends. They're just status seekers. Gold diggers at that point. They're looking for somebody to save them, to get them out of their hole. And much like people that are drowning, they'll climb all over anybody they need to get to the top. Anyway, when it comes down to it, do what you can to find peace with yourself. And it is a constant struggle for a lot of people. You're not alone in that. And I think it's a bit foolish in some ways to think that you will find it, obtain it, and keep it for the rest of your life on a solid, consistent basis, 100%. If you were able to do that, I mean, that's part of the human condition is going up and down. There are ups and downs in life. Rather they're minor, rather they're great. And unfortunately, mentally, with mental difficulties, that stuff is exponentially amplified to make you think that you're not worth it, or that you need to exit stage left from this mortal coil. It's a challenge, man. I mean, it's a total challenge. But I recently put on Twitter, I said, there is strength within all of us, and just do what you need to do to obtain it, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, if that suits you. Reaching out to doctors is okay. Reaching out to friends is okay. People you trust. Reaching out to loved ones is okay. And it's hard to know who the right ones are, but look at what they've done for you. If they bring a positive aspect to your life. And unfortunately, even the most positive aspects in our life that are positive at the time, with time, you see that, unfortunately, that begins to spoil, and they lose that effect on your life. It happens. But what really matters is the people that keep trying to help you, that keep trying to benefit your life in a positive way, that aren't just trying to keep taking from you. There's got to be, what's the word? Reciprocation. It needs to be reciprocal. It needs to give and take, give and take. They're not deducting from your life, or they're not deducting from your life and not adding. They're doing both. They're asking for help, but they're giving help in return. So, something to look for. Anyway, rambling. Thanks for watching. Remember, you're awesome. Never let the world tell you otherwise. Stay safe. Stay sane. And I'll see you next time. This was really heavy. This was really heavy, but I hope it benefited somebody. See ya.